Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. It is almost 8 o'clock here on Friday evening, and looks like we have a doozy of a system headed towards us. And, I show a picture here of empty bread shelves, and I think that's appropriate for what we're going to find. This unfortunately, I think, is going to be a pretty common event for us. Based on what I've been forecasting and what I'm about to show you. So if you have some grocery shopping to do, you may want to end up doing it a little bit early, because it's going to get pretty rough around here. Let me show you what I mean by that. Winter Storm Watch has been issued by the National Weather Service offices, the three offices that serve our area here in Southern Indiana. And you can see how extensive the watch is. It's really almost for the entire state of Indiana. In fact, if I just go down here and pan it out some, what you'll see is that the Winter Storm Watch really covers a huge swath. The majority of Indiana and a lot of Kentucky, and I mean, it just keeps on going down here. This is going to be a storm that means business. And as we go through this, we'll talk about it and you'll see what I mean. Right now, if we take a look at our current conditions, we're sitting at about 21 degrees here in Huntingburg. But you notice this swath of snow up here in the Great Lakes region, and another little small swath developing up here in Montana. All this that's up here is actually going to skirt by us and won't affect us. This particular snow is going to be moving this way. But this snow in particular right here is our storm maker for what's going to come to us on Sunday. And essentially what's going to happen is the low pressure is going to, this piece of energy anyway is going to dive down this way. And that is going to spin up a new low pressure that's going to track right along a cold front. The cold front basically is up in here. That cold front is going to be pushing our way, and as the low pressure starts to track up, it's going to sort of ride along that cold front, track up in a fashion very similar to this, right along and just south of the Ohio River. And that is going to bring, remember, the heaviest snows fall on the northwest side of the low, so that's going to bring the heaviest amounts of accumulating snow here for us over in Indiana. So we are looking at some potentially heavy snowfall amounts occurring through this system. Let's look at the data and show you exactly what I mean by that. First off, let's take a look at our surface map and see where you're going to at. And here's that low pressure up in the Great Lakes with the cold front. And again, you can watch as this pushes off. The cold front would be right about in here at this time, and here we are at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Cold front is edging closer to us. It starts getting sort of elongated more in this fashion. Here we are at 1 a.m. Sunday morning. The precipitation is just starting to get to here. You watch this piece of energy dive down. A new low is starting to spin up and is starting to push our way. And here you go. By the time 7 a.m. on Sunday morning rolls in, you've got precipitation already rolling into our area, and it gets pretty heavy. And you notice that low tracks sort of in the GFS model here, just sort of south of the Ohio River. Some of the other models take it a little bit closer, but regardless, it's going to bring us some heavy snow no matter which track it takes. If it takes a little bit further to the south, that could push us into an extremely heavy snowpack for much of southern Indiana rather than just some of us. But as you can see, regardless, we're all going to get hammered with some snow. That system moves out of here. Here we are at Monday at 7 in the morning, and high pressure is starting to take charge through the middle part of the week here. But then watch this other system start to develop here, and here we are on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and we start to see some more snow moving in even here at 7 on on Thursday morning and rolling in. And that looks like that could be another couple of inches. Still way early and preliminary on those numbers. But yes, it does look like we could get another 2 or 3 inches on top of the madness that we can expect on Sunday. And then looking ahead into the future, it looks like we have another storm system developing on Saturday, but this one, as you can see, the cold air is pushed way back towards the north. Remember, this first blue line is the rain-snow changeover line, so the way the GFS has it right now, this would be all rain for us to next weekend. And then after that, a sharp cool down comes in, and here we are on a week from this Wednesday, so this would be January the 15th, with potentially another decent-sized snowstorm moving in, another snowstorm moving in for Thursday, and then after that, you see another one potentially on Friday night into Saturday the 18th that could cause us some pretty significant problems again. So point being with this, take this all with a grain of salt. This far out, it's again, whenever we get more than a week out, what we're looking at is the pattern and not necessarily the specifics. What the pattern points to is a very active month, but we got to deal with our system first, and so let's talk about our system because that's the one we really want to dial in on. But just know that even after our snow on Sunday, we've got some more chances coming up. All right, so let's take a look at our system for Sunday. This is what we're looking at now as precipitation type. So the greens here are rain, and then the sort of the blue and purpley colors are the snow. I've got it here at 1 a.m. on Sunday morning, and you can see that it's just starting to move into the area as we put this in motion and span it forward in time. By 7 a.m., snow has overtaken much of Indiana. Looks like we may have potentially even the purple here as a little bit of frozen precipitation. So that's not freezing rain. That would be more of a sleet type of a situation there. Maybe mixing in with a little bit of rain on this for our far southern counties. But I believe that it's going to move out pretty quickly, and the models agree with that as well. By the time 1 o'clock hits, it's all snow for Indiana by this point in time. And really, I think any rain that does sort of mix in here might be an hour or two at best. It's not going to be that much. In fact, I'm not even forecasting rain. I'm forecasting sort of a snow-sleet mix at start, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Heavy snow comes in on Sunday, and then here we are even at 7 p.m. on Sunday night. Heavy snow still around, potentially, according to this model. 1 a.m. Monday morning, still around. Finally, by 7 a.m. Monday, it's all gone from us. So, this looks like it's going to be a doozy of a system, and one of those systems that's going to sort of last all day. You know, the heavy snow may have ended by Sunday afternoon. We still may have some after effects of lingering snow showers and things to deal with, which will still make cleaning up the roadways difficult. Let's talk about future radar. This is our high-resolution NAM product, which sometimes does a decent job and sometimes doesn't do a decent job. It sort of just depends, and if I can get the model to refresh for me here, we'll be in good shape. And here we go. We'll put this into motion for you. Sometimes it likes to cooperate. You know, my internet speed must be a little slow right now or something with this. Hold on just a second. All right, my apologies for that. I had to wait about 30 seconds for this thing to load. Wow. Even the internet is cold around here, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a sign of things to come. But let's put this into motion. Here we are on Saturday afternoon. Saturday looks pretty good to us around here. I don't think we'll have any problems on Saturday, just a decently cold day. Here we are at 8 p.m. at night on Saturday. You see that snow swath starting into northern Illinois, and you see it starting to push its way towards us. But for our area, nothing really starting. Here we are at midnight, and you see some snow starting in sort of our northern counties here at maybe 11 o'clock and into the midnight hour. But for the most of us, we don't see anything until these overnight hours, 1 a.m. And here we are by 4 a.m. It looks like, according to the NAM, we have a little bit of a break in action. But the main snows are going to come. And if I put this forward in time just a little bit, what you see is some very heavy snow. And by the way, if I can get it to stay here, for example, here we go, 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, you may be tempted to say, well, this orange, that looks like icy precipitation, so that's sleet, right? No, actually what this is just the way the coloring works on this. And if you look at your color bar over here, this one is the color bar for snow, and this is just very intense, heavy snow for us, is what it's saying by Sunday morning. And yes, I do believe it might mix in with a little bit of sleet at the start, but it'll change over quickly to an all snow type of scenario. And the 4-kilometer NAM actually paints a very heavy snow for us. That's all gone by 10 a.m. and moved out, but then you notice we have another huge swath to deal with that moves through us and then down into Kentucky. We'll see how far north these go, but just to get the idea that it's going to be a very cold and snowy day. Here we are by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the majority of it is gone out of our area. We just have some lingering snow showers after that, at least according to this model. So let's talk about accumulations now. Snow accumulations, I know that's what's on everybody's mind. Let's go through the models, and then I'll talk about mine real quick. Here's what the Euro model says for snow accumulations, and again, it ranges from tapering off to very light amounts by the Ohio River, 3.1 here in Huntingburg, all the way up to greater than 7 and 8 inches through here. The Euro has some problems has had some problems lately, so take it with a grain of salt. but we can at least trend it and see some heavy snows, certainly in the positioning. Here's what the Canadian model says. And the Canadian model, man, this sucker is aggressive. And you notice a very sharp cutoff line for this, but we're talking, anywhere from 8 to 10, 12 plus inches of snow up in this swath with the Canadian model. Here's what the GFS says, the latest, and again, a very heavy snow swath right over us as well. And then finally, we can take a look at the high resolution NAMs, and it does have some heavy snow swaths over us of some 6 and 7 inch pockets. It doesn't have really anything higher than that, but take that with a grain of salt. It's sort of the lowest of the models on that. And so if you kind of combine all of these models, heavy snow with the GFS, very heavy snow with the Canadian, very heavy snow with the NAM, what you'll end up coming with is what I did anyway, is my official snowfall accumulation forecast. And so let me just make this a little bit bigger here for you to see. Pretty much, based on all the models, I'm forecasting pretty much a 6 to 12 inch plus swath of snow over the majority of us. 4 to 8 inches as you taper over towards southern Spencer County, towards the Ohio River, Perry County, up here into Crawford, and then Harrison and points east. But the majority of us over in the 6 to 12 inch. And I say the plus on this because there is a risk that we're going to have some very high snow out of this. This will not probably be a good snowman building type of snow scenario. I wish it was, because I really want to build a snowman. But unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be a very light and fluffy snow, one that will just blow around all over the place. So we will, with winds of 10 to 20 miles per hour or greater at times, we'll have to watch for some near blizzard conditions, if not blizzard conditions. May not meet the technical definition of a blizzard, but it's going to be very windy, and that's going to make it very cold as well. But I certainly expect there's going to be some pockets of dotting the map here of greater than a foot of snow, and that's just... That's unfortunate because that's going to make some very cold nights ahead for us. But by and large, it looks like a 6 inch plus event for the majority of us, up to a foot. So again, very, very tricky and difficult to forecast. Let's talk about temperatures as well. That's the last thing that we need to discuss. And unfortunately, this is a heavy snowpack of 6 to 12 inches for a lot of us. That's going to make bitter cold temperatures. Here we are at 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. We're already down into the upper 20s according to the GFS. It starts to rise us to near 32 degrees by the morning on Sunday. But then notice how quickly we go from early on Sunday around midday of around 32 to 17 by 7 o'clock that night. So this Arctic air mass means business, and when it starts snowing, the temperatures are going to drop rapidly with this. And with a heavy snowpack, watch what the temperatures do. By the time we get to Monday morning, I mean, this is aggressive. It's taking us down to 13 below here in the Huntingburg area, 12 below in the Evansville area, 14 below in Vincennes, even down to 18 below in Indianapolis. So, I mean, the GFS model here is just absolutely aggressive with the cold temperatures. And with a heavy snowpack, that's exactly what it's going to do. If we don't get as much snow, still think we're going below zero, but maybe not quite as far. That heavy snowpack's really going to push it. And unfortunately, by the time we go into Monday, the bad news is it looks like we stay below freezing in the models for a high temperature on Monday. I haven't seen that around here in a long time. In fact, this is probably the coldest air that we have seen in basically about 2 decades, folks. This is some serious business. And as I put this into motion, you see that it's really Tuesday before we start to warm up any and all with this. So unfortunately, it looks like we have got some very bitter cold temperatures ahead of us. Go to southernindianaweather.com. You can get the 7-day forecast. I've just updated it a little bit ago. 38 for a high temperature tomorrow. Enjoy tomorrow while it lasts. The warm-up will be a little bit nice. It'll be the nicest day we have for a while. Mostly sunny early, increasing clouds through the day. It's going to be breezy. That snow-sleet mix will come after midnight for most of us, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock for some of our more northern counties on Saturday evening. I do look for winter storm warnings to be hoisted tomorrow afternoon. We're under a winter storm watch now. Likely will be upgraded for starting at midnight, would be my guess on Saturday night. We will see. Then by the time Sunday morning comes, we might make it to near freezing and then falling temperatures throughout the day, and we'll be back to I'm conservatively saying a -6 here for the Huntingburg, Du Bois County area, and then as a heavier snowpack is going to take you down further than that. So as you go north with maybe some of those heavier snow accumulations, yeah, you could get down. And then unfortunately only up to -2 on Monday, down to -11 Monday night, and you see even Tuesday, it just doesn't get much better for a high. Thursday, we warm up finally a little bit, but we've got another chance of some accumulations expected there, and unfortunately, it just looks like it's going to stay cold for a while. I'll have another video forecast update for you tomorrow for Southern Indiana weather. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great night, stay safe, and we'll continue to update you.